everybody? It's me, Edward Jones, back with a new video. Sorry, it's been a while since I made a video. I've had a lot of things happen in my personal life that I haven't been, I haven't had time to make a video. And whether I was really tired or some instances I was just lazy. It happens. I'm doing a response to a video that GeneralSLee made. First off, I want to say, I want to tell him thank you for mentioning me on his channel, in his latest video entitled Violence and Brutality. I really appreciate that. Anyone who visits my channel, I hope you enjoy the content, and also enjoy a lot of the comments. My response to his video is pointing out something he said about parents taking care of their kids. Which he stated that he's a parent, and for the record, I'm not a parent. I'm only gonna go about this from what I know from my own personal experience, with people who were taking care of me. But GeneralSLee said that if someone stands in the way of my child living, then that person's gonna lose. Which I can commend that. I believe parents, as I hope to be one someday, as well as a loving husband. I hope that parents do share that attitude about taking care of their children. With that being said, I believe I believe parents or anyone who's a caretaker have to ask themselves this question, because it's very important. What would I not do to keep my kids alive, or keep whoever's in my care alive? Now, the reason why I say that question should be asked is because wherever you do, if whoever you're taking care of finds out, you have to think about how they're where they're gonna take from that. A little personal story of mine. The last time I got a beating, I was 11, and it was for lying. A year later, when I was 12, the same person that beat me for lying, I witnessed them tell a lie. I witnessed them tell a lie to get a discount at a restaurant. They lied about my age, said I was younger than I really was, to get cheaper food. Now, I gotta say that right there, that's one of the biggest turning points in my life, because it not only taught me that, I know all along that, I known for the longest that lying was wrong, but it taught me that even people who take care of you, even people that you look up to, they're flawed. They mess up. I think the degree of the mistake they make, or the degree of their actions, they may vary. But for me, when I was 12, to witness the person who beat me for lying, see them lie, it put me in a position where I'm still in now, which I guess had a good effect on me. People who are in authority over me, in a sense, I have to be cautious around them. I remember I was very upset. I was really angry, because even though it seemed like it'd be something petty, I carried that with me, for a long time. The person who lied, they try to say, well, I've done it before for this, that, and the other, and come on, it wasn't a big deal. For me, it was a big deal, because I got a beating for doing the exact same thing that they did. And so it taught me about double standards. It taught me certain things to look out for when being around people who I may have looked up to. Now, to carry this over into a SHTF event, you may be in a situation where you have the option. I will say this: you have the option, or you have a choice to do the wrong thing when it comes to providing for those you care about. But you have to think about what would happen if they found out. You also got to ask yourself, would you be okay with them doing the exact same thing? Like I said, I'm not a parent, but as being a child, I do recognize potential for bad things coming from that. Where you know, let's say your children were starving. Which, first of all, you know, keeping out any event that would actually could destroy supplies or anything like that. If you sense that your children may need something, it's your job to get it. Now, it's your job to get it. Now, but the thing is, it's your job to get it before bad things happen. You don't rush out and get things at the last minute to take care of your child when you know they need it the most, when you know they need something the most. Clean water, good food, any medicine that they may need, clothing, more, etc. You do it. You're a parent, so you do it right away. You shouldn't wait till the last minute. You shouldn't put those things off. If you could call yourself a parent. Should something happen, and your children are hungry, and someone has food, and you go to that person, and they refuse to give you food, are you going to murder that person to get food for your children? You have to ask yourself that question, and don't say killing. You have to call it what it is. Will you murder to feed your children, to feed your family? And how should your children look at you afterwards? If they were because they are going to find out. There's some things you can't keep from your kids. Especially if they're smart enough to figure out that they need food. They're going to be smart enough to figure out where the food's coming from if you're bringing it in, especially if you try to hide it. It may come down the road. It may be immediate, but you have to consider that possibility. Would you steal from someone who has to take care of your family? Would you attack someone purposefully? Like I said, go back, call it what it is. Would you murder someone to feed your family? Murder is wrong. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you teach your children right from wrong, you do have to also understand that your children will look at the actions that you take, and they'll carry it with them. I had told you before my story. I carried it in a fashion that made me question authority. You have to think about how with your children, how they carry it if you were to commit such an atrocity. It is an atrocity. You have to think, if your child were, would you want your child doing the exact same thing you're doing under those circumstances? Would you have been a good parent and provided for them, early on, provided for them however which way you could before any mess happens? Would you put aside your own personal enjoyment to make sure your family is safe before things happen? Remember, before things happen. Because it's important to do things before instead of wait till the last minute, get caught up in all the madness. I hope to be a parent someday. I hope to be a husband first, then a parent someday. And I do think about this from time to time. If I had children, what would I not? What would I do? What would I not do? And I understand some may see it as being a luxury, having a moral code. But you also have to understand what kind of children you're going to bring. What kind of children are you going to raise in this world? Are you going to raise ones who are going to do the right thing? Even with hard circumstances, even during hard times, they're going to do the right thing. Are you going to raise children who are going to be wishy-washy? Doing the right thing only when it's easy, or are you going to raise children who are going to do whatever to survive, no matter what the consequences may be afterwards. If you ask yourself that question, you can kind of tie it into the kind of people you may be surrounded by, in an SHTF situation. you want to be surrounded by people who are good. You want to be surrounded by people who are decent. No one's perfect. I'm not perfect, but I do know right from wrong, and something my family always tells me: you know what you have to do, so do it. And that's something else. That's also something else that stuck with me. I know what the right thing to do is, so I do it. Times is hard. Sometimes I do fall. I do slip up. But if I know what the right thing to do is, I just do it. I'm supposed to do it because it is the right thing to do. And I believe parents need to ask themselves, what kind of stuff do they want to leave behind for the kids to learn from? Do they want to learn that their child? Do they want their children to learn that their parent, under extreme circumstances, still did the right thing? And hopefully will they carry on? The same type of actions, or do you want your children to see that it's okay to lie to someone, it's okay to steal this from that, it's okay to murder a few people here and there, because you're gonna have to, but no matter what you do, you are gonna have to worry about how they carry it with them. So I would say make sure you think long and hard before things happen about your actions. And about the stamp it can leave in your children. That's my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments. Oh, and by the way, if you have any personal messages, I don't like Google+. I don't like what's going on right now. If you have any personal messages to send to me, my email is em1897, numbers 1897, jones@gmail.com. And if you have any personal messages, please send it to that address. I'll type it in the info section. I would gladly like to answer any questions you may have for me that you may not want to leave in the comment section. That's my video. Please, parents, think about your actions. Think about what impression you're leaving your kids. I'm Edward Jones, and thank you for watching my video.